And we're live for the semifinals here at the Canadian Bowler. We're going to have a great match here. They're just completing their trial ends. So we'll give them a few minutes to finish those trial ends off, and then we'll kick off here within the next couple of minutes. We'll have to get him back. Looks like the Despotitos are going to take the jack here to start, so we're going to kick things off right away here. We're privileged to have one of the biggest legends in the sport in the booth with us today. So obviously I'm John Patulli here. The Despotitos were able to knock me off, and now we've got the Silver Fox with us. We've got Derek Dillon. What are your thoughts on this game's to come up?
Thanks, John, and welcome to Calgary Lawn Bowls Club. The weather is beautiful. The beer is cold and cheap. It's been a great tournament so far, and here we are into the semi-finals. Two local teams, in fact. Pauline and Cheryl are Calgary Lawn members, and playing against Rob and John. They're both members here as well. Rob originally from Winnipeg, of course, so it should be a tight game. Pauline has knocked off her husband Peter this morning, and knocked off Greg Wilson in the previous game. So they are obviously high in confidence, and they should assert themselves pretty well in this game against the experienced national squad members of John and Rob.
I believe they made a good run last year too. I remember playing them. They might have been in the final 8 as well last year. So it's 2 years in a row that this team has done well in the pairs. So
I certainly enjoy the the quicker greens. Certainly the greens have been a treat this weekend so far, starting with the singles on Friday, and pairs starting yesterday and today with the finals, and it's running beautifully. Certainly, as far as I've seen after travelling this country, these are the best greens in the country, and they're rolling nice, and it brings out the competitive juices on many players playing on greens like this.
I certainly echo those comments. This tournament is so nice to play in, strictly for the greens more than anything. I like the format, but man, it's so nice to be able to play in this green. Once you've let your bowl down, you kind of know whether or not you've made a good shot or not. It's all on you.
Yeah, look, it's a great tournament, this Canadian Bowler Open. They do a lot of work to put all this together, and, there's excitement around and people around watching, and, umbrellas are out and music is playing. It looks like an event when you're turning up to the Bowls Club, which is which is some of the hard things to do, of course, and it attracts people in. They say, what's going on here? And you never know what sort of bowler we might get out of just people calling in to see what's going on at a bowls club. So it's attractive, and it's a great organisation that put this on. Calgary Lawn Bowls Club, I know, being a member here, are very pleased with this tournament being here each September long weekend, Labor Day long weekend here in Canada, and the weather's been put on for them, and everyone is happy as far as I'm aware, except for those that might have just got beaten in the previous game, John, perhaps, I don't know.
Yeah, the weather, we couldn't have asked for much better. 4th straight day of beautiful weather. Unfortunately, at the end of the singles, a little bit of a rainstorm came in there in the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, just softened things up on the green a touch, but they're certainly drying out nice and running. They'd be easily 14 right now, 14 to 15 probably, and the first end here in the semi-final of the championship bracket. Leads were a little nervous, I suspect. It looks as if Pauline is holding shot currently, although Rob might have just bumped John MacDonald bowl in close, but I think now is shot. So Pauline one down, playing on the backhand. She's played these guys many times in club events and whatever, so she won't be too worried about the big names of national squad members she's playing against. She'll be fine. John MacDonald says holding one for Rob Law, who will just look to draw on the backhand here. Rob in the previous game was drawing very well. Obviously mentally is always harder to follow it up again in the next game. Just dropping a bit short on that one as they get into a rhythm after a lunch break. Pauline looks to be switching hands here, John, to the forehand.
Yeah, she needs to be a little careful probably, but
yeah, looking to bump her own in by the look of it. Not a lot of room for just drawing, so I think looking to bump her own in.
Well, that's probably not the one she meant to, but I think it probably worked out for her. And gets her a second ball in the head, which is important as well. You know, Mr. Loss, he's just going to be coming in, probably trying to bump either of his 2 front balls in, and if he's down in the head, he could actually almost try and play a little bit of weight on those two. They both may go.
Yeah. Yeah, Rob has a busy schedule after this. Rob playing for Canada in the Atlantic International Challenge starting September 20th in Windsor, Ontario at the Windsor Bowls Club, where Canada play against Ireland, Scotland and the USA in a 4 Nations event. Rob playing second in the 4s and vice in the triples. Will be looking to build some confidence off the back here as he bumped his own bowl, but too heavy.
So I assume that's going to be one stroke for the women here.
Looks like a measure coming up, but potentially. Yep, one to the girls. So that's a good start for them. First end in the semi-final, they go to a 1-0 lead.
We're still working with the 2-hour time limit today, so we'll keep an eye on that. The last game, the final, will be open, but otherwise it's 14 ends, and obviously a little bit of different rules here. In the Canadian Bowler Open, you can tag up to 3 times during the match if you want to switch between your lead and vice, or lead and skip, if you feel like that might help drive the engine. I know this morning that worked out really good on the stream rink and almost brought the big Roy Riggy almost came all the way back when they did their tag, so that could help change momentum.
Yeah. Yes, it's actually quite a good rule. certainly that rule is kind of in place, although you've got to wait for the end of the game at the Atlantic International Challenge in Windsor, where you can change your teams around, whether it's fours, triples, pairs or singles. You can change members of the team at the end of a round anytime you like. And at this year's International Challenge there, the final day is like a Ryder Cup, where everyone's playing singles on the final day. So could be some big changes and some exciting times there. As we know, the Ryder Cup in golf certainly is when Europe play the USA, which is in a couple of weeks' time, I think. But,
are you going to bring out a golf cart just like the captains
you never
do there, doing the Ryder Cup and go and check on all your teaming?
It would be easier than walking around all the time, John. I can guarantee you that. That's for sure. It would be nice to have a little cart.
There's a great bowl there from Johnny MacDonald there. The Desposito to start us off. Jack high there.
Yeah, John's got a busy calendar coming up. I know he's going to Ontario to play in the PBA events and has been selected to go to Hong Kong to play in the Hong Kong Classic in November. So he's got a busy month of bowls in September and then into October and even November this year overseas.
Yeah, him and Pat, I think, have won a Canadian championship or two together as a team. So they've even got that previous chemistry as well. So I think they're going to strong choice there for Canada. It's going to be exciting to see what they do. Yeah,
they won a national pairs in it was at Regina, your club in Regina there in 2000 and whenever that was. So
2018, I think.
2018, yeah. I was going to say it was pre-COVID. So yeah, they won the gold medal there in the pairs.
So we're in the second end, right? If you watching today and tuning in on the stream, be sure to drop your name in the chat. Let us know who you are, where you're cheering from, and who you're cheering for. I see we got Hang Lee in there right now. He's cheering for Robbie Loss and Mr. MacDonald. So, hey, Hang, thanks for tuning in today. And we've also got a question on who's on the mic with you, Daryl. Daryl's actually got the day off finally. He said that he'd have enough. Workers' compensation wasn't paying him enough. So we've got our head coach of Team Canada here, Mr. Dillon, and we've got myself, Jonathan Matuli, on the mic here for today's game.
Here's Pauline on the backhand looking to draw into those bowls of John MacDonald's lead bowls. Just brushes the nearest shot as she goes past. It looks as if MacDonald and Loss are holding 2 shots there at the moment.
She didn't miss by much there.
No, very
tight. Small minor adjustments, maybe take off 2 feet on her next one. She'll be landing shot low.
Rob's probably looking to consolidate the good start his lead given him here to draw in another one, which it looks as if he has. I think that'll be a counter.
And I think it's far enough away that it's not really a plant, which is good as well. You don't want something that can help them make their shot. So that's another effective blow in the head there. With the hand they're coming in on, I don't think you're too worried. Oh, she's coming the other way now with some
forehand with some weight now. I'm not sure why she changed her thoughts on that. Maybe it's a bit tight. That shot bowl she touched might be a bit too tight in there now. So probably the weight was a bit much for that on the forehand. So she wouldn't normally play a lot of weight. She's certainly more known as a draw bowler.
Imagine you'll probably see Rob maybe switch hands here and try and slide just slightly behind, give himself a bit of cover, and he could still land in the head too. Just be a few feet behind.
Yeah, they're probably holding 3. Looks like he's going to draw in there again. So it looks as if they're holding 4 currently.
Certainly 4 now. I'm not sure he'll like that much because it gives another wing bowl for Pauline to use here. She should be switching back. I'm sure she will, and just a little bit of overdraw. She's now got 3 different bowls to run into, and plus the jack. So
yeah, she switched to the backhand at her first
weight looks
bowl
close here.
The weight is just going to not quite be there. It may have cut a shot out.
Hard to say from this angle. Looks like it might even be second shot, to be honest.
Yeah, it could be.
John might give us an indication here how many they're still counting. I'd say he's cut out at least one, up to three.
Either way, I think it's really just probably another draw for Rob. He may switch his hand now onto the forehand.
If he can get a little bit of snap at the end there, any jack movement here is really beneficial.
Yeah,
Probably only needs to move it a few inches and he'd be five again.
Yeah. So he's drawing on the forehand here on the Calgary lawn greens that are running nice and true and pretty quick for Calgary. He's damn close. Well, he's just dead drawn it instead, if you don't mind, umpire. He's
what a ball.
You know, if I was coaching him, I'd be all over him for being 6 inches short.
Exactly.
John,
he needed to be. He needed another 10 inches on that, and they'd probably be five.
Three shots.
There.
3 shots to MacDonald and lost there. So it's a solid end, started by the lead, as they say. Leads pairs matches. Leads win or lose the games. The skips is by how much. So that's a good start to this match that will be pretty competitive throughout. If Cheryl can get them close against John and be very competitive, it could be a very interesting semi-final all the way through here. 14 ends, about 27 degrees or something this afternoon here in sunny Calgary. A beautiful day for bowls. Anyone listening in the Calgary area, you should be down here buying a cheap beer and watching the top-class bowls that's on display here this afternoon. John starts on the backhand, a nice draw, looks to be a couple of feet behind the jack. That's a very nice start. You know, Cheryl playing on the backhand is just a little spicy.
Both of them had pretty good line there for the first
pretty
balls.
good line. Not easy for players this weekend, whether it was in the singles or the pairs. You know, a lot of the players played on 11 and 12 second greens throughout a Canadian summer, and you come to Calgary lawn and they're 14 and a half. Maybe even 15 this afternoon. So it's tough to adjust that weight.
Awful close here. Needs to hold up a little bit.
Yeah, just a fraction narrow, but the weight is good, certainly.
Well, I imagine that's going to be shot ball right there. Rob Lass confirms. Just wants him to drop the shot ball there.
John staying on the forehand here. No, we actually switched hands. He gazumped me. He's on the backhand. He's got another probably a yard heavy on that one, but obviously in a good position. Cheryl trying to take advantage of her second delivery and get her third one. I'm sure she's hoping right on top of it. So it's looking very close to doing that as well.
That back one's great too. Yeah, great balls. That one's awful close, and imagine Rob's going to have to follow her down on that hand now. Try and land the ball. Maybe a little bit of a trails. He does have good position in the back.
Yeah.
Probably a few more options on that hand for him, although if he's feeling comfortable on either hand is still wide open on the draw.
Plenty of colour around again this weekend, John. Lots of different shirts from different countries. We certainly have an Australian playing here today. We have a South African playing. Pauline some time ago was Hong Kong. You know, so there's...
we've got a Malaysian just in front of us here too. Alex Scott, Malaysian, in his Malaysia jersey.
By the look of it, yes. So a lot of colourful shirts and some athletes from different parts of the world playing here today. We had some US people playing. And certainly within Canada, they've come from as far as Ontario, BC, Saskatchewan, of course. So
4 from Scotland, I think, came in.
Scotland
for this
come in
tournament as
too,
well.
yeah. So it's getting a nice international flavour. We hope that it's back here at Calgary Lawn and Rotary next year, maybe even another green as the tournament expands and a lot more entries come on board. Here's Rob on the forehand.
He's awful close here. It's all going to be on the weight. He's running just that hair. I don't know if
He set
he'll
that
stick.
ball.
It's hard to say. Good shot regardless. He might still be down the one. Yeah.
Yep, Cheryl indicating they've still got one shot. Pauline looking to draw on the forehand. She must have liked this one out of the hand. She's chasing it. You don't normally see Pauline chasing a bowl too much, but as you see with a lot of bowlers, when they've got it in their mind to come off the mat and chase their bowl, they end up short.
I don't think Rob's going to change much here now. He's played that well two times.
Yeah.
He's just, if he can find shot bowl and roll in, they could be 3, maybe 4.
Could be, yeah.
He could probably land his own even and hit and stick.
As you see, the speed of this greens, that short bowl won't be a worry at all. Plenty of room to draw around that.
I don't think Rob likes this one. He's a little bit tight.
Yeah,
Maybe just light on weight as
A
well.
little wide light on weight probably for that one. So certainly if you do miss your line a bit here on these speed of greens, it will punish you, that's for sure.
Gary Lawrence in the chat saying that he's cheering for the big shooter, which is Alex Scott from Malaysia there, and his little sister Frances. So they're in the semifinals of the Truth and Reconciliation bracket. They're taking on another Saskatchewan bowler, Michael O'Connor Jr., the Big Show, as he's affectionately known, as well as Francis Standen, who was able to step in here. I know Michael was hoping to play with his father, but his father wasn't able to get here from South Africa this year. We're hoping we can see him next year.
Yeah,
because that would be a hell of a team to watch out there. But they've had a nice run here today in the second bracket.
Francis versus Francis in that one.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when they flip. I know the Scots are one of the few teams that are really utilizing the tag. They usually tag a couple times each match. So.
Well, hopefully Francis is wearing earplugs, because Francis Standen can talk a glass eye to sleep. So.
So the girl scored there. I wasn't sure if that second one came in, so I'll wait for them to update the board. It was 1 for sure.
1 for sure.
No indication yet on the board. The BC team there in the other semifinal, known for being quite loud there, Ryan Pollard and James McGowan. They're just close to making a shot, weren't able to get it though.
Good to see.
Against the House family right there.
That's right, yes.
I'm not sure, I don't know much about those two boys. You'd probably be able to help us out a little bit more.
Yeah, father and son playing, members of Stanley Park mostly, and Gord's been around for a bit, always been a solid bowler, but Jake has certainly developed over the last couple of years really nicely, and certainly is roundabouts in most tournaments that go on in Alberta for sure. Good to see James McGowan back playing a bit more competitive bowls. Was very successful in his younger career, I guess you'd say, and now with work and what have you settling down, I believe for him that he can play more often than what he used to.
Yeah, great to see him back. I remember seeing him in the junior ranks, I don't know, even 20 years ago now, so he's certainly been around a long time.
John MacDonald has made the adjustment there and got a toucher after putting in a short one, but responded well with his second bowl.
Zoom in here even a little bit more. We got a real short jack here, so once again, thanks to everyone for their support over the last year. One of the big things that Canadian Bowler is able to invest in this year was these new cameras, so that can help us on these types of jacks. And as we see that, what a wonderful bowl there by Cheryl, stroking it really well early in the game there. Came in a nice little trail, took it right away from the Desposito. So we'll see if he can answer now.
Yeah, John on the forehand needs to make an adjustment of about 2 or 3 feet to draw the shot there. He sneaks past a fraction wide, but you know, out of the leads.
Giving himself options.
It's the only back bowl now, so which is good.
There's a question for you there in the chat there, Derek. Is the Atlantic Challenge set up like 5-a-side then until the final day? 4s and singles and then pairs and triples? Is it set up to be streamed, do you know at all?
Yeah, so I believe it will be streamed each day. And it is effectively a 5-a-side. So you're correct, it was all singles on the last day. So we have men and women and para playing this year at Windsor. So it's certainly in the able bodies, it's 4s and singles and pairs and triples, with everyone playing singles on the last day. The para's a little more complicated. Scotland and Ireland and Canada have a para team entered. The USA have no para bowlers at this stage. So that's a little more complicated with the visually impaired and the para schedule is a little more different, but yeah, 5-a-side, the same as World Championships. Bowls are still 5-a-side at Leamington Spa in England in 27. So it's good for us. Certainly playing 5-a-side. Commonwealth Games next year is different. It's just pairs and singles is all indoors now. Next year in Glasgow, in Scotland, and then we have in November this year the first World Cup put on by World Bowls, where we're going with 2 men, 2 women, and 2 para bowlers, man and woman, and that is singles and pairs once again. So. For those that don't like sets play, it is sets play. So if you're keen to play international bowls, it's certainly heading more towards sets play than not. Although I do believe certainly, world bowls is going to be more traditional in 27. But certainly world bowls in their endeavour to have lawn bowls. Great bowl by Robbie Lass.
Rob Lass again. He's an assassin with his last bowl. He was doing that all the time, and in the first game earlier today. Yeah. So
world bowls in their endeavour to working hard to try and get bowls recognised by the International Olympic Committee. Para bowls has been recognised by the Paralympic Committee, which is good. The target is the 2032 Brisbane Olympics. Certainly trying to get lawn bowls in there as a demonstration sport. It may look different to what people are used to in bowls. I'm pretty certain that certainly like Commonwealth Games, it's going to be indoors. It'll be shorter, faster games. Probably music and lights and all sorts of things going on. So
maybe it's something similar to Canadian Bowler here.
Well, exactly. There's plenty of excitement down here as I look around. The music's going on and everyone looks to have a can in their hand. So why would you want to be anywhere else but down here this afternoon? John starts with another nice bowl, a couple of feet behind, answered by Cheryl with similar, a little bit stronger. She's probably a yard, but behind there. to start off. Both these leads will be looking to assert their authority and put the pressure on their opposing player and team. Johnny Mack a little more heavy this time than his first bowl, but still around abouts and not far from what I would call that optimal scoring zone. If the jack's going to move, it moves backwards 99% of the time. So, except when you're driving, John, and you hit it, it can bounce anywhere with that power you have with that left hand.
Once in a while, yeah. Even then, it's still usually going backwards. Maybe in the air, but that's about it. Don't think John will like this one too much, a little bit too much on here, but at least again it's going into the back, so it's giving Rob Loss some options when he comes to shoot.
Yeah.
You're never too worried if you got options like that on the mat. And back bowls are obviously going to help.
Opportunity for Cheryl here, just coming up a bit short, disappointingly, but plenty of room for the skips there with their drawing prowess to get in there.
Yeah, a little bit of a loose end here, so I say there's probably no shot ball just yet. Rob Loss has been playing his forehand very well in this direction, so I'm sure you're going to see him just draw on the forehand on his first bowl. Nice stroke there for Mr. Loss. I'm feeling this one's going to be good based off of the stroke. You could see he got down and laid down a nice ball. If he falls that one in, that'll be shot bowl. Yeah, probably shot bowl right there. This looks fairly well weighted, probably just a little bit narrow though.
Yeah, not that far off from Pauline, but she can make an adjustment there. Rob looking to probably bang one right on top of the jack here and put all the pressure back on the opposing side.
Probably a little higher than he wants to be here, but he might be able to sneak around the back door here of the bowl. Probably down now, actually. Unfortunately, caught the wrong edge of the bowl. Weight was great, though. This looks good here. I think this will swing right onto the jack.
But, she's come off there nicely, so may in fact be holding two at this stage by the look of it.
Might see Rob go big here, actually. We're looking actually
it'll
at
be
a third
interesting
stroke,
to see what it's worth. He's probably got he might have third, fourth, and fifth potentially.
Definitely got lots of back bowls, so I'm sure he's not going to be light here.
Yeah, he's looking at the jack or the bowls, I think.
That is a big target right now. It's something juicy. You can get anywhere in that. Basically 2 foot.
He's just got to commit to what weight he's using. He's not going a full-out drive, but it's certainly plenty of weight. He misses everything. He probably rushed his delivery a little bit on that, in my view, after deciding what to do. Quite often players will think about what shot they play, and don't give themselves time to really commit to, okay, this is the shot I'm playing, I'm fully committed, stand on the mat and away we go. They can always rush it a bit. Pauline with a chance to draw for potentially 3 here. So
she was very close on her last one, just basically needs to repeat that. A little bit wide here, unfortunately.
Here, so
she's going to tap in that ball, so it's definitely just 2 for sure.
Yeah.
So it'll be 2 here, and then we'll see a tie game here after 5 minutes.
Pauline and Cheryl, a tied game, tight as we anticipated.
The Canadian Spider-Man, Daryl Fitzgerald, just checking in here. He's finally got the first game off of the entire tournament, but you can tell he's a little bit nervous. He He hasn't been in the tent for almost 45 minutes now, and
Well, he was spending too much on money on throat lozenges, John, I heard, and after talking so much the last few days,
he hasn't been able to sleep well at night too because he's had a loud roommate. So he's definitely needed some time to himself here. So he's off enjoying himself a couple of coffees here and taking a little bit of a break. Well-deserved break.
All that money falling out of your pockets on your way out.
he's a people's man, John, as we know. He's, he's well liked by all. Okay, here we go with Cheryl. And number 6. And it's a pretty good start here. She's
What a ball.
gone bang right on top of it.
It's a perfect shot. First bowl is so important in a tournament like this, so it's very, very nice when you can get your first bowl just like that.
Absolutely huge. Key for John here is to draw one and get one close, not going crazy. And
Wow!
that's
What an
exactly,
answer.
He's
Two
certainly
perfect bowls.
He's got one more than close. He's got the chalk on his bowl, and great bowl. The challenge now laid down to Cheryl. She's changing a hand for this one after John's last bowl.
Asking what the score is in the Big Show's game there. Someone is up massive. It's up 12-1 already, but I can't say for sure. I'll have to take a quicker look to see which team that is. Judging by who's throwing the first skip bowl, which is Fran, I would guess that Fran and Alex might be up big,
Yeah.
as they scored the last end, but I don't know that for sure.
That's certainly an international game, that one. You've got a South African, you've got an Australian, and 2 from Saskatchewan, which is further away than what Australia and South Africa are from here. But so these leads in the semi-final of the championship have gone crazy this end. You could put
5 bowls within a
5
mat.
bowls so far within a mat length, which is pretty nice. Johnny MacDonald with one more to come. His weight looks pretty good again, and boy, oh boy,
Goodness
have a look
gracious
at
me.
this.
My goodness, that's 3 bowls within less than a foot.
You know, John, I used to be able to do that back in the day a bit, but not too often. But the first thing I would do was run to my bowls bag and grab the camera, mate, because they're hard to take a photo of that. So
Unfortunately, that is a big target. I don't know if Pauline has a good weighted shot. You may know better than me. That's a lot to come into right now. If she does, I'm sure she's going to be using it right now.
certainly more known as a draw bowler. She's certainly not a Ryan Bester type, that's for sure. But bloody, if Bester was here, he'd be licking his lips there. She gets 1 bowl of John's out of the pack. So John MacDonald still and Rob still sitting 2 shots there on this end, with now the backest bowl. Interesting to see what Rob does here. I'm assuming he's just going to draw into the pack again and try and draw for a 3rd shot.
Fran Scott just killed the end in that match. We still won't know for sure who's up big in that game, but Michael O'Connor said that he saw the Big Show throwing the jack a couple of times. If that's the case, I'm sure they're the ones up big then, so it would be 12-1s them, and just happens to be that Fran and Alex just scored the most recent end.
The jack has moved a little bit and may have been of some advantage to Pauline. Johnny Mac just put up 2 fingers, so they're holding 2 shots. I would think that Rob would be coming down on the forehand here, just on the draw or whatever, just to roll that pink bowl of Cheryl's just over one or two rolls would be the perfect bowl.
Yeah. Could even punch in John's short bowl if he gets a little bit narrow. He's got protection there, can't really hurt the head, but the perfect shot would be to hit the... they almost look like peanuts out there, the pink peanuts. They're so much smaller than the other bowls. Rob's not going to like this one. It's coming up well short.
Yeah,
Hold
just
the string a little bit.
stood up a little bit on the delivery there, with once again looking to walk down to follow his bowl. Pauline having a close look at this one as to what she should do. This has been the tightest head so far in this match. Quite often happens.
I think we got more that can help us coming from the right on our screen here. You can kind of come through the head, and then if you get the jack and that, the movement's going back towards her bowl. So I would expect her to play what would be her backhand with a little bit of an overdraw here.
Well, you're absolutely correct, John. And she is playing the backhand, and we'll see what weight she plays with here. Certainly a bit more than draw weight, so.
That's a tight line, so she's going to need to be quite heavy for that to hold.
Oh no, she took her
no.
own out. That's the worst result you could wish for there.
So that'll give an extra point to the Desponcitos now, and
So
actually
far.
increases the scoring zone for Rob Loss here. I expect Rob Loss to make this one. He's going to make sure he spends the time on the mat here to settle down and make sure he lays down a good stroke here. This is an important point here. The add-on points are so important in a game like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully he takes his time, visualises the shot, does his pre-shot routine as always, and to draw another one.
I think John thinks it's a little bit toasty. We'll see if it slows down in time here. It doesn't look too bad. I think it
Hopping
might
around.
stop.
I think this is stops enough. I think that's pretty fall over. Very close to falling over, but it's very close to a counter anyway. They take 3 out. I'm sure they'll be measuring, unless Cheryl concedes the 4th shot. And she does.
She does.
So it's a good draw shot by Rob to add to their score there, which takes them to a 8-4 lead after 6 ends. 14 end games. These ones are.
That's a big game, right? When you can double your score this late into the game, that's a huge end, and that's going to give them a lot of momentum here. So the girls are going to need to stop this quickly before the game gets out of hand on them.
Yeah, they need a good end here, really, because John and Rob are going to be certainly confident after that last end.
Still a different jack length here, so we'll see what interests here.
Build some momentum here, and they'd be keen to win this semi-final and win this event on at their home club.
That's something I've never been able to do in my career. Unfortunately, I've been lucky enough to make the final 3 times at my home club, but I've always shanked it, so it's not something I've been able to have happen. So I'm sure the excitement would be building here. Maybe the pressure gets to you a little bit when it's that way, but for whatever reason, my record in finals when it's at home at the Regina Lawn Bowling Club hasn't been good. So. I know Greg Wilson had that a couple of times in Burlington as well too. So sometimes it's great to be playing at home, but at the same time, it's a little bit of maybe a little bit of a burden too. So
yes, thanks for bringing that up, John. I was leading for Greg, as you well know, when Burlington had nationals 2 years in a row, and Greg and I got 2 silvers. We were handed it on a platter by you and your brother Michael there, one of the games, and then the previous year was Steve Pazanson and Steve Ogden heard us as well. So yes, Greg really wanted to win a national gold medal at his home club in Burlington, Ontario, but we were met by some cruel people who weren't very friendly at all.
I can say I know the feeling on the other side of it too. I know the 4 besters did it to me back when I was a young pup. I must have only been about 19 when and in the end, I think that was the only time the 4 of them won. So That's great that a family could win. All 4 of them were able to win that, and then
For sure.
I know we shanked it in 2018 against Jürgen Fessler and company too. So, what a great bull there by big Johnny Mac right there. Trails at about 1.5 foot. He's lying shot, just above the tee now.
Yeah, it's been a good quality pairs game so far.
Reggae Rollers are in the chat now. They're asking how did Josh get on. I know the Roboto didn't do too well in the tournament. He was in the bottom bracket. I think they lost first game.
Yes, I think he was out there a couple of times. He certainly needs some reggae help, that's for sure at the moment.
Yeah, there's a little bit.
I'm not sure.
Delivery's been a little bit squeaky, unfortunately, and hasn't been able to find.
Well, I
what he's looking for.
have a theory that those whiskers he's got growing at the moment, sometimes they get up into his eyes or whatever. It's a very strange looking beard that Josh has got. So
Very unique, that's for sure.
very unique individual, certainly. Yes.
Doesn't have a nice, well manicured mustache like yourself. That's for sure. Rob Lass is just going to come down here on the backhand, I'm sure. He probably wouldn't mind even trailing this before the girls can do it, or land the bull, or sneak in behind to give himself some position in case the jack does move. Because you know that's what the girls are going to be looking to do here.
Just a bit short there. Yeah, good to see Reggae Rollers on the chat there. I think there's going to be World Bowls Championship qualifiers in the Americas next year, so perhaps some of the reggae rollers or whatever may be involved in that. I don't know yet. It's early days, but I believe the talk may be March in California.
Wow.
To qualify for World Championships for 2027. So
has Canada qualified for that yet?
Yeah, well, we finished 4th in the last World Championships, but we've got to qualify in women's pairs and men's fours yet. So certainly we'll be there. I believe Argentina, Brazil will be there. So the Americas has if you don't finish in the top 12 of each discipline, then the Americas has one available spot to go to World Championships. So qualifying will be on next year. So what format that takes and how many countries will enter will be interesting to see. But certainly.
Maybe we could have that qualifier at Calgary lawn.
Well, it would be very nice. March might be tough, though.
That's
the only
true.
thing, John,
there might be a little bit of snow on the...
And I'm sure the reggae rollers won't like being here in March. I can guarantee you that much. But
oh, what a ball by Rob Loss there. That kind of cuts off the end on the girls, too, as he's blocked the jack. And I think he didn't hit his ball far enough away that they're probably the two. You almost have to play the other hand here now.
Certainly is. She's been called down the backhand there, maybe to come off her own bowl.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of options there. That'd be the only one I could see there is just a
otherwise there is looks
foot or two over, maybe get a little tick off your own. Otherwise, I think you're playing it for second shot at best here.
Yeah, she could come off her own there. And
with that weight, I'm not sure what you could have accomplished there, unfortunately.
Not sure on that one.
Looks like 2 to me from here, but...
Yeah, the Americas used to be Canada, of course, the US, Brazil, Argentina, Jamaica and Falkland Islands at one stage, although the Falkland Islands have moved and joined the European group as, the Falkland Islands were nearly all British that were playing, so it'll be interesting to see whether it's a full 5-5, 5 men, 5 women competition next year. But there is some work to do to get all our disciplines playing at Leamington Spa in 27.
Looks like the Scotties are struggling, so yeah, my guess would be that they're down big in that match.
Is it? Yeah.
Alex has got one on the bank, one 10 feet behind, and one 7 feet light, so I don't think they're really playing up to their capabilities currently. So my guess would that be the large score will be for Francis and the big show there. We'll also go take a quick look and see if we can give you some updates on the other scores here shortly. As we're nearing about the midway point now of these semifinal matches.
John MacDonald continues to put some pressure on. Another good bowl right on the jack there, which adds pressure to his opposing lead, Cheryl. He's really just got to try and have the mindset just to have one round and try and get it close within that mat length circle, and then build the head rather than trying to get the shot necessarily and lose your bowl. Just try and build the head and get some bowls around.
The house and James McGowan matches 7-6 after 8 right there, so it looks like that one's a barn burner.
Very tight.
Very tight as Scott Ryan Pollard there is chasing his bowls. Very happy with that one there. This is a big bowl here, big end in general. They need to score here, the girls. Otherwise, it's going to be almost too far.
Playing with weight here.
That's surprising.
That's not the shot that I would be calling.
You don't want to lose bowls this early in the end.
If I was coaching her, there's no need to try and get rid of that bowl currently. You could draw another one in there and get it close.
Yeah, in a lot of ways that bowl helps you on the draw.
Yeah.
You can play just a foot or
sit
two over. You can sit it in a little bit of a trail there. You definitely need to keep your bowl on the green there, in my opinion, in order to build the head a little bit more. It's still too early for a shot like that.
Yeah.
Maybe just a little bit of frustration on the girls' part there as they've dropped 6 or 7 straight points here to the lost MacDonald combo, so they're maybe not thinking like they should.
There's Rob with a draw shot here. Will he get around that one? No.
That still brings it in to the point where
Brings
probably
John
not
in.
quite in the shot, but a good another good second ball in the head. We're seeing a draw here, overdraw. That's more the shot I would play here.
Yep.
So even though she's missed, that's in a position that you could still connect on that later, and that's where the jack's going to go.
Yeah. Here's Rob with another draw shot, looking to get another counter in there, but he's a bit narrow on this occasion.
Not really going to like that one, but it doesn't hurt them either. At least it's sort of in the back, although I don't think the jack's... Oh, this one's the wrong bias. My goodness. Goodness gracious me. It's about the 5th or 6th wrong bias I've seen today, which is surprising.
Yeah, certainly at this level, and that's just a mental breakdown at the end. If you don't stick to your normal pre-shot routine, you're going to put a wrong bias down. So that's just a mental break in your delivery cycle.
Blast there doesn't really change much. Knocked the girls closer, but not going to be enough to change the head here. So she just needs a soft overdraw here, a little trail for 3, or bump that bowl.
Yeah.
2 rolls for 2. This is a big shot, and this can get them back in the game.
She's bowling with weight here.
It's a shot they need, and she's just far too wide, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, of course, a lot of players, here in Canada won't be used to playing weighted shots on a fast green.
True.
So they put it out there, a weighted shot, and are amazed when it doesn't sort of turn like it would on a 10 or 11 second green. So, yes, it takes some increased skill. We see these greens in Australia, New Zealand, etc., where they're playing on them all the time. Certainly skill levels are very high because of that, and they're able to play all the shots. So, Canada does themselves very well going to internationals and what have you, playing on faster surfaces. The players adapt really well.
Honestly, it's probably quite impressive when, especially, don't get me wrong, we've got a few players now that are overseas year round, which helps a whole lot when playing on those types of surfaces. But when you've got players like Rob Loss that we've got in this game here heading over there that doesn't play on anything close to that surface year round, and they're able to adjust and play as well as they do down there, that's very commendable. And it makes you wonder if we had those surfaces year round, how efficient we might possibly be in those games.
It would be great to have a couple of indoor complexes across Canada, like the UK have got. In Australia, certainly be very nice to have a few centres apart from PIBC in Vancouver, of course. But it'd be nice to have one here in Calgary. Divorce Central, I would call it, because it would be a very popular place in the winter time, I suspect. So, but I think we're still some way away from that. But,
no, we're seeing lots of good things here in Canada growing the game, though, and that's what we need to work on here. Sure. This tournament's a perfect example.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think this is the top tournament we got in Canada here right now.
Yeah, I'd agree with that for sure. You look at 64 singles entries with the waiting list, and you got 32 pairs teams in the start.
40,
40, so listen, there's nothing bigger than that in Canada currently, that's for sure. Not even Nationals is that big, so nice.
It's good to see, because we've got it's good to see too, because the waiting list, honestly, they're fill up usually within 2 or 3 weeks of joining, and you're on the waiting list. I know they probably had the demand for at least 100 this year if they were able to do it, but a little bit of a difficult situation because you want to be here because the greens are so good, but at the same time you're limited to only greens, and you don't really want to expand to, say, Edmonton, because you know better than me, but I'd say that's 3 hours down the road probably. That's a little bit too long between venues. Wow, what a bowl there. Shutting down the momentum immediately there.
Yep, every time Cheryl or Pauline get a good bowl in there, either Rob or John takes it away from them, so
that's huge.
Certainly.
Not like you don't want them to even creak that barn door open. You want to shut it on them. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. Great tournament here. It's a great atmosphere, professionally organised, run on time. The bar's good, the beer's cold, the music's terrific. And it's a very popular event in a very quick amount of time. This is the second year, so boy oh boy, it's
honestly,
who knows where it could go from here.
Let's hope it keeps growing, and thank you to the subscribers and the people we have in the chat and viewing here today, because you that are helping build this brand too, so we're very appreciative of everything that we're doing here, the sponsors, and we've got one of the sponsors in the booth here today, so we're very proud of all the different thing here and the support that we're getting, and we're going to keep trying to grow, and we're happy with what we've got here this year. We're very proud of what the product that's out there, and we're seeing it right now with these great games that we're able to stream for you today.
Well, and that's the thing as a sponsor. Listen, it's nice to be able to, invest in bowls and invest in something that is giving a return. So, and the return is that, a lot of these players will walk away from this tournament and be better players for it. So, being Team Canada's national head coach, I can get selfish and say that's exactly what I want to see. Whether it's people on the squad currently or people, striving to be on the squad in the future. So we want to see good, strong competition in Canadian bowls. It's been one of the issues, of course.
Great shot there.
Is that there hasn't been enough strong competition for the more elite players to play in. Well, here we are. Here's 4 days all of a sudden. Obviously, our season is curtailed by the weather on occasions, that's for sure. So, to see 4 days of top-level competition like that is nothing but terrific for all the players here.
And I've been able to, most years, especially, say, 10 years ago, coming out of domestically, I would really only play in my provincials and nationals, and those are the only tournaments. That was the end all and be all. And this year I was able to play in 4 tournaments across the country, and that's really helping a lot. So we had 2 here in Alberta. We had the nationals in Edmonton there last week, and we also had this Canadian Bowler, and then we also had the Pobo in Saskatchewan, and Woba. So we've got 4 really high caliber events that I was able to play in this year, and that's something that just wasn't an option a few years ago.
Yep.
So.
No, that's right. It's been terrific. It's been nice that national squad members were certainly, I think there was like 11 of them at nationals this year. You know, first time in a while there's been no conflicts, international conflicts, so the players were able to play in provincials, and then if they got through there, went on to nationals. So good to see them out and about. It sure makes a sacrifice. Life gets in the way sometimes, there's no doubt about that. With work or family, you can't do everything. But certainly this year, as you mentioned, and I went to all of those events, and you know, it's terrific to see a large group of players getting out and about and committing themselves to those tournaments that hopefully will be around for a long time to come.
So the girls should score here, which is great. They've got a chance to score at least a double here. They're buying the shot here, and if they can find a way to get a second or third point here, that would be very important, as obviously we're over halfway done and they're down by 7, so a score of 2 here would be big. And then they can get the jack and try and change something up here a little bit.
Yeah, the girls won't give up, that's for sure. It certainly would be nice to add another counter here.
Line's good here. It's all going to be on the weight. It looks like she might be a little spicy.
A little slippery. Yeah. It doesn't take much to be 6 to 10 feet heavy on these speed of greens. You know, as I said, the sun's out. There's no real breeze to speak of, ever so slight. It's absolutely perfect bowling conditions. Greens are probably getting close to 15 by now, and it's great conditions for bowls.
The big show is up 18 to 1 right now. Yes, we're updating that one. So I imagine they'll be shaking hands at any time now.
Yes, I'd imagine so.
There's actually only 5 ends left, so it's almost a mathematical skunk right
and
now.
Obviously, I see Fran is leading now, so the old tactic of Francis standing to yap in your ear for the game has certainly worked there. She's got out of there and got to the other end.
You got a comment there in the chat there from Dustin Mitchell. He said he was great seeing you at Edmonton, and he's hoping that next time he sees you, you're going to try some of his hot sauces.
Yes, well, he is known for some hot sauce up there in Edmonton. Well, he's more well known for his daughter nowadays. Taryn winning, 4 gold medals in 2 weeks up in Edmonton this year. I'm not sure that anyone's done that before, but Dustin is trying to make a name for himself in the hot sauce area, and I have a tip and whatever that the sauce is pretty good. And Dustin, I'll certainly give it a taste. There's no doubt. I like a bit of spice.
I'm not sure if you're going to find a better year domestically than that, especially from what is she?
Yeah, she's just about to turn 16.
16, yeah, unbelievable.
Just about. So yeah, she won the under-18 girls and won the mixed pairs at the Youth Nationals, and then won the ladies fours and ladies triples at the majors. So yeah, that's a pretty solid couple of weeks of bowls.
We might have to get an inquisition on that mixed pairs though. I know we were looking at the teams before it even started, and we chuckled to ourselves when we saw that she had been paired up with Eric Gallipo there. I was like, that's kind of a stacked roster.
I think Eric was pretty pleased however that worked out. I think Eric was pretty pleased with that draw. So there's some tough conditions up there for the youth. It was actually quite cold. You look at today, it's like 27, absolutely beautiful. Well, they had a couple of days of 10 degrees and rain, so up in Edmonton, so it was tough for the youth players, but they did well. It looks as if the big show from South Africa and his Australian partner, they're shaking hands there.
So yeah, we've got our first final out there.
I did remind the big show Michael O'Connor there that the Wallabies did beat the Springboks there a few weeks ago, so which was a nice result for us. We hadn't beaten the Springboks in South Africa for many, many years, so it was nice to see.
The other semi-finals locked up through 10, so that's going to go right down to the wire by the looks of it too.
I think they've got the shot there. It's a long measure, but they've got a shot, I believe. Johnny MacDonald whacks one close again, which is ideally good. Try and take any momentum away from Cheryl and Pauline.
This one's awful close. What a
That
ball.
looks pretty good from here, so that's a nice shot.
Yeah, it's exactly what the girls need. They need to go on a run here and score 2 or 3 ends and get back into it and get within striking distance
Yeah.
there for the final couple of ends.
Now here you'll see the difference here. There won't be any running at this. I'm pretty certain that Rob, with his experience and ideally his teachings, that John will just be looking to draw there, just arriving perhaps, not losing the bowl.
Yeah,
And just over the draw and
just like that kind of weight we're seeing here. He's a little bit wide, but yeah, you want a couple feet heavy. That way, if you make contact, great. If not, you're providing your skip with another back bowl in position in order to turn the head over for them.
Not losing the bowl, so. And they're only one down, so they're currently 6 shots up with 5 ends to play. So nothing crazy here.
So now that you've been all over Canada this year, are you happy with the state of bowls in Canada? You've been able to go to those different tournaments across the country. Are you happy with what you saw this year?
Yeah, mate. It's I think it's almost part of the job of head coach is to, get out and see players. Players want to see you. And then, when it comes around to picking a squad, players that apply, we're not sitting there saying, well, who's this guy or girl? Has anybody seen them? So I it's a commitment I made to the job. The last coach, the great Terry Scott, the great man himself, was obviously based in New Zealand. So it was tough for him to be here for any length of time. So I went to, I've been to the BC provincial pairs this year. I went to Woburn in Ontario, Pobo in Regina, also certainly a couple of provincial events in Alberta, and then the Youth Nationals, and then the majors in Edmonton, and of course here this weekend. So, yeah, look, it's good to see. It's good to see a lot of familiar faces still playing because, you don't become a real good bowler overnight, of course. We certainly would be happy with more girls, but certainly the juniors were good. Seeing the likes of Taryn Mitchell and Kira Shalo and Bridget Masterton from Ontario, all playing there. Along
Rebecca
with
from Ontario is very promising as well.
Yeah, Rebecca Kuhn, and you've got older ones you'd call in regard Bailey Van Stein and those girls, and certainly the guys as well. But yeah, it's been good to see. The quality of bowls has been good. Some tough surfaces for some of them. But it's that competition, you just can't, you can coach people in a lot of things, delivery, etc., some strategy, tactics, etc., but it's actually that being in competition and, feeling that competition moment where it says, well, gee whiz, I'm 4 down, I've got to draw a shot here and what have you, that you just can't coach, it's, you prepare them as best you can with, the mental side of the game, which is huge. Certainly at the national squad level, we have a help on the mental side of the game through with Danielle. Also nutrition and fitness as well now. So for national squad members, so it's certainly a very important part of the game. But yeah, I've been impressed with what I've seen. It's not the same people winning all the time, which is good also. So yeah, as I said, with this event now being a terrific competition for 4 days, it adds to that collection of competition that people can go to that will certainly help their game, which is nice to see.
I think that's one of my pet peeves. I know back when I was running with the national team in the past was it's tough for a coach to coach from the other side of the world. So I think we all appreciate you being here and being so around and all over the country. So it's something I think that I really commend, and I think it's great getting to see everybody and talk to everybody like that. So certainly something I think is a very strong positive that I'm seeing over the last year or two.
Thanks, mate. Yeah. Look, it's it's enjoyable for me to get around and see people. I have the resources, personally to be able to do it. So, we're always pretty tight on money at Bowls Canada. Government keeps reducing our funding, so which is not terrific for us, but we do what we can, and so far the last few years have been very successful on the international stage, which has been terrific for the players. And obviously we've had the ladies world ranked #1 player for a bit in recent times, and with Kelly McCarrahan, originally from Ontario, living in Melbourne, Australia right now, and obviously the current men's singles champion in Ryan Bester, from originally from Ontario, who now lives on the Gold Coast and is the bowls coordinator at Musgrave Hill on the Gold Coast. And so certainly people aspire to be like Kelly and Ryan. We've got Emma Boyd, who lives on the Gold Coast now. All three players certainly advanced their game by going to Australia. But, big decision for them to go to Australia, but good on them. They made the decision, and certainly their bowls improved apart from being in Canada for, playing 5-6 months of the year. So
exactly. Wow, what a bowl there. The girls were able to get one last end here, and they've trailed it down, probably lying comfortable 2 here. So the Despacito is going to try and get in here and cut down, and this looks like a well-rolled bull here. Or is he just going to slide under?
Just gone under it. Yeah, John has been able to answer. He has been able to answer on a number of times, but the girl's holding again.
And I think it's going to be exciting here for the next few weeks. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Ryan's probably never represented Canada in Canada before.
Well, correct. He hasn't actually, no. So he never played a North American Challenge in Canada, and that's so. Yes, that's one of the reasons he's coming back is that he can play an international in Canada. It was nice also that Kelly and Emma committed to the Atlantic International Challenge in Windsor, commencing September 20th, and it's terrific that they're very keen that they're coming out, because at the end of the day their schedules are very, very busy. It's really amazing, their schedule. They all work within bowls. Ryan is bowls coordinator at Musgrave Hill. Emma works at Tweed Heads Bowls Club, and Kelly's got a playing and a coaching business down there and doing very well in Melbourne, Victoria, in Australia. So for them to all commit to come back and play the international in Canada, it's been fantastic news for the rest of the players that were selected for there.
And who do we got for the rest of Team Canada for the girls? I know who we got in the men's side.
Yeah, so in the ladies' side, we've got, as I said, Kelly McCarrahan, Emma Boyd, and then we've got Jordan Koss from your home club there in Regina. And we also have Bailey Van Stein from Coburg Lawn Bowls Club, I think it is, in Ontario. And the other lady we have is Jackie Foster from Nova Scotia. So Jackie's back after a couple of years out of the scene for a little bit, but she's back, and we've got a strong ladies team and a strong men's team. So hopefully it would be nice for certainly for Ryan and Kelly, that have played many internationals for Canada over the years, to have an international win on home soil. I think it'd be a terrific way to cap their career.
That's great to see for the women that we're able to put together such a strong team and not even have to use like someone like here. I know we got Joanna Cooper out on the greens here today, for example. So it's great to see that we've got that. You have Linda Ng, another phenomenal bowler we've got. So we're finally building. I don't want to say this in a detrimental way, but it's good that we're going to be able to say 7, 8, 10 women deep.
Yeah.
We've always had the depth on the men's side, but it's great to see that we're also seeing that coming through on the women's side.
Yeah, the ladies have really improved. You know, if you call that middle level sort of thing, you know, they've really improved their game. You know, it's certainly with our help on the mental and nutrition and physical side is, you know, the whole package is kind of helped. And we've been lucky enough, and the timing's worked out fine, that, you know, a lot of the girls have played an international in the last year to 18 months. So, in fact, you know, 17 out of our total squad of 19 players will have played in an international event in the last 18 months by the end of this year. So,
wow.
So I'm not sure that that's been achieved before, but certainly we've been able to do that the last 18 months. Joanna's one of the ladies going to Hong Kong in November.
With Linda, I believe.
With Linda, so
right
yeah.
Rob lost there and missed that one. So the girls definitely building some momentum here. They've taken out one, and they're looking like this might even be 3 or 4, to be honest. But
okay, well,
we'll see what the measure says.
It'll certainly start to add a bit of tension to the game. You're standing on the mat, you start to tense up a little bit. So the guys have gone from being relaxed and just going draw, 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 draw. Might start as we get to the last 3 ends of this match, start to feel a little tension.
Looks like these two bulls must be really close. Maybe the back bull's not as close as it looks. They're not really examining that one just yet. That one to me looks like it would be in, but must be further behind than it looks from this angle.
Well, they're calling an umpire there, John. So
D Baga coming back to join us here. The Canadian Spider-Man, Daryl Fitzgerald, just checking in.
Just checking in.
Daryl's gonna grab Derek and I each another drink here to keep us refreshed here, as it's a very warm day. So the ciders are extra tasty here today, and we appreciate Daryl heading to the bar to grab us each another drink for us. So appreciate that, Daryl. Thank you very much. We'll see what the measure says here. Looks like we got Claire Day out here, last year's singles champion.
There we
so
go. She did, yeah. She had the belt on last year, Daisy. So, of course, the qualified umpire, president of Bowls Alberta as well. Does a lot in bowls. Claire does. Bit of yelling going on next door.
But not a lot of celebrations.
I don't hear a lot of yippee yahooing.
Oh, but a big high five, so it's hard to tell. See what Mr. House has to say. He's calling down his dad.
Still another round of finals. The finals to go after this down here at Calgary Lawn. There's a big crowd currently watching, but if you're in the area, I would come on down here, have a cold, cheap beer, and watch some elite bowls in Canada.
And you could even shake the Silver Fox's hand. He said that he'd be happy to shake hands, take photos, autographs at a small cost.
Yes, happy to do anything, John, for the game. Happy to do anything.
So I think it's 12-9 for McGowan right now. We'll kind of shift the focus to that green just for a minute here, as I think they're playing a key last shot while the umpire's measures on. You know, the girls have at least one in our future match here. So it's going to be at least 11-7, potentially 11-8 here, heading to N12. The houses seem to have 3 in tight, close to the jack. And
it is a pretty tight head there.
Just the one bowl belonging to Jamie McGowan's team, so could potentially see maybe a yard or 2 over. And the girls pick up an extra point on the umpire's measure. So that's really going to make this game interesting, as we've gone from what was looking like maybe a bit of a runaway 3 or 4 ends ago, but the girls have now scored in 3 consecutive ends, and all of a sudden we got an 11-8 game.
Well, I did say I knew these girls wouldn't give up. A lot of these ladies, certainly here at Calgary Lawn, there's a lot of leagues that go on here, and they play a lot of competition. There's not a lot of social bowls in these girls. They become hardened competitors, and the tighter it is and the more tension in the air, the more they love it. So I certainly wouldn't put it past them to come over the top here win. So Rob, on the other hand, Rob and John have certainly had all the training that
Wow,
a
what a
national squad can
celebration.
offer. So
The houses.
Gord
5
House
times.
the Gord House.
John Cena, he's running,
played a bomb.
and they're all going to give high fives to
He's played a bomb, obviously. So
5 big ones. That's going to turn that game over in a hurry. It's going to welcome to my house. The house is right there. They're going to take the lead with only 2 ends to play.
here we go on the crucial 12th end here. Crucial 12th end, a little short there. Would have been great for Cheryl to go bang and add some pressure to John. So now it's up to John. He has the opportunity here. Can he take advantage here? And he hasn't. It's come out a little wishy-washy out of the hand, that one, and is 5 foot short.
So you playing any bowls yourself anymore, or have
No.
you strictly moved into the coaching role?
Pretty well full-time just coaching now, mate. It's amazing the number of meetings a person gets involved in. You know, obviously the travel, one's got to balance travel and life. I'm retired, luckily, but, person still has family and that you certainly have some commitments with as well. So I'm away a lot with bowls domestically, and it would seem internationally in the last few years. So I don't have time to play. I prefer, and I've committed to go around the country watching players and getting to know players. And so, as I said before, when players sort of put their name forward to possible admission to the national squad, I think it's fair that at least I'm able to sit there and say, well, yeah, listen, I saw this guy or girl, 5 times in the last 3 years, kind of thing. So but I do miss it, there's no doubt about that. When you see these competitions and the pressure moments and everything, that's what I really enjoyed, certainly when I was in Australia playing, and certainly here in Canada. I was lucky enough with Greg Wilson to win 1 national pairs title, and we certainly got a couple of silvers in that and the 4s and whatever, so I certainly enjoyed all of that. But he's moved on with other partners now. He's quickly forgotten me, John, by the way. It's almost upsetting how quickly he forgot me.
Oh, good shot here by the girls. Trying to cut it down.
Yeah.
Didn't quite get the result they wanted right where they needed it. But
this is an important end.
Yeah, Rob Loss needs to kill the momentum here. They need to score and sort of take control of the game again here. Girls get another end here. Could be almost the point of no return. Rob Loss is coming in here. A little bit too heavy on this one, but he's going to come into a good position in the back. The girls are probably going to want to try and land the 1 bull, because it looks like they're sitting 3 seconds right now.
Yes. Yes, hello Ed. I see you there in the chat. Nice to see. They must have the Wi-Fi fixed at the nursing home for you, mate. So that's nice. It was nice to see at the youth nationals and majors last couple of weeks ago, buddy. So nice to see you.
Another good bull. I think I'm going to just ran a hair too far. The Despacito's still taking a look to see who's shot. Sounds like it's
all
close.
very
We might have a
close,
measure
but,
now.
I think you could probably draw either side there. You look at, Rob, there's opposing bowls at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock kind of thing. You could probably sit either of those.
I think Rob Loss is a little too wide here. Not sure it's going to come back that far.
Yeah, he's some nice finish on the bowl, but just a fraction wide. Perfect weight. Looking from my angle here, but as the tension builds. Crucial end, this one. Okay, Cheryl favours John and Rob's bowl. A lot of players are pretty accurate at looking at that nowadays, using their fingers or whatever they use to see who's shot. They're pretty good at it nowadays.
This is a big shot then. They've only got one chance to turn the head over, and they've got a lot of bowls in the head here, so it's an important shot here. I suspect she's probably just going to stick on that same shot, probably try and bump hers in or maybe catch the shot bowl.
Fraction
just gonna
wide,
slide
just
by.
rushes through, a little quick for my liking, but as the tension builds, the crowd starts to build. There are some celebrities around here. I see Catherine McElraith there, a former Bowls Canada president, originally from Windsor, Ontario.
Got the 10-time Canadian champion Pat Bird there in the crowd, enjoying the
Yes.
festivities as well.
Yes.
So Rob Last didn't change the head there, so we're going to see measure. This is a key measure, honestly.
Yes, it is.
Four
This-
up with 2 to play is a bit of a comfortable lead, but 2 up, that's a different ball game.
Different ball game completely. Also nice for the Canadian Bowler Open. Yeah, 1 down to Cheryl. So the boys get that one. So that was an important end. Nice for Canadian Bowler Open that they had 3 para bowlers playing in this tournament this week. Certainly 1 pair and 3 of them in the singles. So it was terrific to see.
Right on. Who was the third? I know the pairs team.
Didn't Annie play in the singles? Did she
Could've.
or not?
Not
I
sure.
can't remember. I didn't see them all. I bounced between Rotary and here, but Jack, wheelchair bowlers Jack and Annie are off to Malaysia with me in November for the
Oh, right
World
on.
Cup. So we're certainly trying to grow our para program.
I know Andy sure has had himself a good couple of years here. Was that three-time champion in a row now? 3 straight years?
Yeah, for sure. He's bowling very well, and I think with the additional coaching and the better structure and all that para bowling has got now, and the opportunity to represent Canada overseas. He represented Canada in South Africa last year. Along with others, that they certainly see that, and potentially the Olympics coming up in 2032, that there's plenty of opportunities for para bowlers in this game. They can play in open events and play in anything. So lots of opportunities coming up. So the guys have gone longer here. They put the jack on the tee. John started with a reasonable one start, and probably needs another couple of feet on this one. He'd be quite pleased to put another couple of feet on this one to put the pressure all on Cheryl and Pauline.
So when we're talking about parables, you can maybe help us out here, even someone like myself that's a little bit ignorant. What are the different levels of parables, and what are available at nationals there? Because I know there's different things, probably sites and things like that. So what are the differences?
There's variations. There's different classifications that based on your disability. So and there's official classifiers for bowls.
Okay.
So. It can vary all over the place. So they look to whatever you classify it in, and that's what you play other people with the same classifications. So same with visually impaired, and they have directors with them. So I think nationals this year was I know it was in Ottawa, and they had a classifier there for anyone that hadn't been classified before. So it's certainly a growing aspect of our sport.
So we got a tight game, and the house is coming home there, 15-13, coming home.
13, and they're
I think actually
holding shot right now.
James McGowan might be up in the game because they threw the jack. So yeah, I think that was basically a tie game, and now it's gone to 15-13. So I believe the house boys are down by 2 coming home.
Well, and Jake House has put one right on top of it with his very first bowl. So it's a good start over there for them.
Looks like we could be in for a hell of a finish there.
Meanwhile, the boys here on the second last end look to be 2 down currently. So Rob under a little bit of pressure here to to draw one close.
I don't think
He
Rob's
looks
going
to
to like
be,
this one.
looks to
Mr.
be-
Lass is a little bit tight, and I don't think that's going to change
No.
anything.
The quicker greens as well, you won't sneak in the back door as often. So,
Pretty tough, yeah, very tough. She's going to do a check to make sure, but
from our camera
Oh.
angles here, it looks to be a couple.
what a bowl there by Scott Pollard there in the last end. Mr. Housen put 2 on the jack there, but Scott, don't call me Scott, Ryan Pollard there came in there and took one of them out. So I think it's just 1 for the house boys and 2 good seconds now for Mr. McGowan's team. Oh no.
Oh, a bit unlucky there for Jake. He's
A little bit too heavy, trailed the jack, and
the jack into a little bit of trouble there. He may be down, don't know. But
he's disgusted with that shot. You can see it in his face.
Rob Law with a pretty important draw bowl here.
Rob Lass seems to be a little bit too
pretty
wide. He's
wide
almost
too.
look like he's out in the other green still.
Might hook
That's-
a bit at the end there, but
That's the
still.
Calgary Lawn Bowling Club there for you, though.
There you go.
got to get out wide, and he came most of the way back, but not quite where they need it there. This is big for the girls. If the girls can get another one in there, score a 3 spot here, it's anyone's ball game coming home.
Oh, yeah.
This one's going to swing hard at the end too. Don't know if it's got enough gas.
Her little bowls will, as long as she's got some weight, but she has not. John's looking to switch Rob hand here.
That's surprising that we'd
Yeah, Rob
switch on
just
your
put
third
2
bowl, but
there. Yeah, maybe
just needs
that-
to split the 2, and you can touch up Johnny's bowl on this side. It looks like the promotion's not really there on this hand.
This is when the sweat starts to run down the brow. Can he get inside his bowl to draw the shot? Can he get in there?
I don't think so. It's hard to say.
Hard to tell. It might. It's certainly at very least second, I think. But has he made a difference there? Of course, Johnny Mack will be saying it's all about the call, but Pauline still has 1 bowl to come. But
That would have been a great bowl if that wasn't there for sure. He would have been on the jack
Yeah,
if he
he would have
didn't.
drawn for
If he
sure.
didn't wreck on that shot there.
good bowl under pressure. You know, on the quicker greens, you can often see you're either short quite a bit or quite a bit heavy more often than not. So good bowl by Rob to be at least second shot, I think, if not shot. It's very close. Cheryl's been looking over it a number of times.
Scoring 2 here is big for the girls. You want to be within 2 coming home.
Yeah.
Anything more than 2 is tough to build, especially when you can protect against that. Jack movement would be good here. It looks like they might be playing weight on those bowls. It's interesting, because if there's only 1 in there, a hit and stick would be 3. James McGowan with an absolute bomb there may have clinched the game over there.
Here we go. Pauline's playing weight here.
Yeah, I think she's going for the double.
So this is
She's quite
interesting.
narrow, and she's going to need to get lucky here. No.
She misses everything, so I
Maybe
guess
it's 2 for Rob Lass.
it's going to be down for a measure, I think. No?
Just down 1. Conceded the 1.
Just the 1. So
it's
Rob's
gonna-
bowl did work out well.
So as this game winds down, we'll have a couple of different finals available for us. If you could leave your comments in the chat to see which score you may want to, which game you may want to see a final of. If you want to see the Village Brewery final, you want to see the championship bout final, you can let us know, and we'll take that into consideration as we plan for our final stream here at the Canadian Bowler.
It's unfortunate for Cheryl there, knocking John in nice and close.
So we're down to the last
They
shot in
need,
the other semi-final. I think Mr. House is going to need to try and kill the end here. I don't know how they're going to score a couple points here. Maybe if he took it to the ditch, he might get 2.
Well, he played a miraculous shot to keep them in it, so they're certainly studying it hard. Cheryl Storrow on the backhand now in the semi-final is, just misses the jack. Johnny MacDonald is seems to be back in the rhythm a little bit here, and all he needs to do here, having 2 close, is to have one sort of sneak a bit around behind, but he is slightly just behind, but anyway, he's got 3 around it. The girls are going to do something a little drastic here. Cheryl just drawing again on the backhand. And just runs through the gap again, but they do have 2 behind. They need to get a 5 here, so obviously tough to do at this level when you've got only 6 bowls. So Cheryl already has one that's short, so it's going to be Pauline's got to look to trail the jack and
Try and zoom the camera over a little bit briefly here for the last bowl of the other semi-final match here.
going on here with Gord House.
He's on the mat. They're going to need some sort of miracle shot here to try and get a 2 here. Otherwise, James McGowan's going to head to the
I'm
final.
just watching his delivery, so he's playing with a little bit of weight, but nothing crazy, that's for sure. Playing some weighted, and he gets both the bowls. I think he got both that he was looking to get, but whether it's enough or not, I don't know. Doesn't look like it. The BC boys are celebrating already. So that's looks like it was quite an exciting game. Ryan Pollard very happy with going through to the final.
I think I might win him the bowler of the tournament.
Oh,
We'll
really?
have to wait for the.
Oh, well,
I think he had a
okay,
3rd place finish in the singles, and he's
Did he?
going to finish at least 2nd now in the pairs. So I think he's definitely in consideration. The other guy that I think would be close would be Rob Lass.
Yeah.
So they might, if that happens to be the final, it could come down to who wins that for the what do they call that? The King of the Green, I believe.
King,
they
is,
call
yeah,
it.
that's right.
King
yeah,
of the
something
Green.
like that, yes. So back to the semi-final here, and the girls in a little bit of trouble here. I'm not sure how they could get a 5 out of this currently. She certainly has to start by.
I don't see a 5 here either. I think they should be trying to kill it, in my opinion,
she's
already.
got 2 bowls left. She's playing with some weight.
She's trying to trail, but she needs to kill the end, to be
Of
completely
course,
honest.
you know, she misses there, but you know, the faster greens are easier to kill, obviously, than a slower green. So, but Pauline is not known for drives, that's for sure. You know, she will always just play up weights, but not that heavy. Rob probably looking just to draw around behind, get in the middle there somewhere, just to try and cover off any opportunity that Pauline might have for a 5. I don't think Rob will be too happy with that one, though, I'd have to say. That's kind of short of where he wanted to be.
At this point, he might have even just thrown one in her eye. Sometimes, strategy-wise, they might not even know that this end is open.
Yeah, it
But
just looked a
you're
bit
not gonna
wide to do
You're not going to
anything.
score 5 here, so you definitely need to try and kill the end here. There's no way that you can remove all of Rob Loss and John MacDonald's bowls here. Or there's no way to pull the jack that you're scoring 5 either. So they should be playing to kill the end. It'll be interesting to see if she does that.
Yeah, it really is the only option here. Kill the end and start again. The jack is certainly exposed for her. She could do that. She doesn't need a full-blooded drive either. With the quicker greens, the jack will move a hell of a lot more, of course.
There's a lot of bowls on the side too, which could cause it, make it a little bit more difficult.
Well,
She's playing with weight, which is what she needs to do. I think she's awful wide.
This is not a. It's as if she might have knocked one of her own in for shot.
Well, that's not
But
going to be
that's,
enough. So the Rob Loss and John MacDonald are going to advance to the final to play against the Pollard McGowan duel. So we're going to see ourselves a BC Alberta final here. Congratulations to both teams here. I think we're probably going to have ourselves, what is it, probably 15, 20 minute break between games here. I know there's 1 or 2 games match left in the other brackets, so we might have to wait for those to finish. But once those are finished, I'm sure we're going to come back to you with the final. But this is the end of the semifinal here. So this is John Patulli signing off. Thank you, Derek, for joining us today. Do you have any finishing comments here before we wrap things up?
Thank you, John. I thought we performed very well.
I think we did as well. So anyway, that's signing off here. Keep an eye on the YouTube channel, and we'll be set to go live when the finals kick off here. Everyone take care, and webo to all.
My name is Sam Correa. I'm a RE/MAX realtor in Calgary. And I've sold over 3,000 homes, and I specialize in the inner city Southwest and West Hills. I'm very connected with my clients. There's a lot involved from the sign up to the sign down. You don't pay more for a top realtor, you just get more. You want to work with someone who's got the pulse of the community. I'd like to be your next realtor. My name is Sam Correa, and my experience is your advantage.